Hey guys, what's up? LDShadowLady here, and welcome to my forever world, where my grand enchanting tower currently looks like this. So today it's time to give this a magical makeover, because not only is this incredibly ugly, it's actually also extremely unsafe. So let's start by deconstructing this giant floating island, and then using the dirt from this to fill in this lake, which is currently standing exactly where I want to put my tower. Now, obviously, I don't quite have a full set of diamond tools yet, but I do have plenty of iron to make a fresh iron shovel, and if I had my lapis in my inventory, I could enchant it, but I don't. Maybe we should look in that weird cave? Oh no, it's flooded. It's a flooded cave. Is that diamond? Oh my gosh. Oh. Wait, there's so many! I just need to get them before I drown. Well, that's one for my shovel. Ah! We're gonna need to do that again. 3 times. Wait, why have I only got 3? Where did the 4th one go? Where's it gone? Oh my gosh, it floated away! Goodness gracious. But I still haven't found any lapis. Oh. There's air. Oh, and lapis. Don't mind if I do. What else is here? Lots of mobs. What the heck is going on there? I dare not ask. I'm just going to get out of here. I only went in there looking for lapis, and now look at me. I've got more diamonds than I know what to do with. So first, let's make a new shovel for all this dirt I have to dig, and then I'll treat myself to a new diamond axe. And more importantly, we have the lapis to enchant them. So, first, my shovel with efficiency, and my axe. Unbreaking 3. Not bad. With tools like these, my enchanting tower will be up in no time. But first, we must destroy this mysterious floating island. As much as I appreciate this defying gravity thing, it's just a bit of an eyesore on the landscape. So I am going to have to go around and pick all this up now, because I'm going to need every single block for filling in this lake. There. Now we have... Oh my gosh, that's a lot of dirt. We're going to be able to fill in all these nooks and crannies. Oh my goodness. This is like an entire stack of dirt. I'm gonna be here all day. Update. I've been here all day and all night. The sun has gone away, and I'm still placing dirt. But I'm not getting my bed out until this lake is filled in. What the heck? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh! What's he doing with that thing? He's gonna take somebody's eye out. Where's my shield? I've had it with you green men and your pointy sticks. What the heck? I'm gonna die. He's going to kill me. I almost died and lost everything. Again. Well, I'm fully out of dirt now, so let's move on to demolishing these floating rocks. But I do like this whole floating idea. I think we could do something with that later on. Maybe floating candles around my enchanting table as an homage to the floating island that once was. There. Now, doesn't that look so much better already? Now, I just want you to ignore the tower for a second. Look past the tower. Look beyond the tower. Look at that dirt cliff behind us. And imagine for a moment, if you will, if that cliff was instead covered in beautiful trees. Why, that might just cover up all the ugly dirt. So before I do anything building the tower, I'm gonna plant some trees, because they take so long to grow. So we need to go back to the mothership to collect all my saplings and stock up on food, because that wild night of dirt placing used up my entire potato stash. And unfortunately, I have run out of stamina now, so I'm just gonna have to walk the rest of the way home. Just gonna have to... Hello! Now, where are my potatoes? Ah, much better. Now, what did I come back here for again? Oh, my saplings! Yes, that's right, of course. All 2 of my spruce saplings. And my 1 oak sapling. That's all I have. Oh no, 4 more. Okay, well, at least we have some bone meal. Any bone meal in the stash? Yes. That will certainly speed things up. Now to embark upon Operation Get More Saplings. Just gonna plant these trees, chop them down, plant them again, chop them down, until we have a nice supply of saplings to take up the mountainside. Now, as you can imagine, this was quite a boring process, and after I ran out of bone meal, there was a lot of waiting around. So unfortunately, I did get a little bit distracted. I kept looking up at that dirt cliff and thinking, what if that was stone instead? And I thought, I'll just give it a little go. I'll just do a little bit. But a little bit of terraforming turned into a lot of terraforming, and suddenly things were starting to look worse than when I started. Now I know from this footage, I might look like an amateur that has no idea what they're doing. And that's because that's exactly what you're looking at right here. I didn't know what I was doing. I don't know the laws of terraforming. I just knew I didn't want to look at this dirt wall anymore. You watch one terraforming video and suddenly you think you're qualified to transform an entire cliffside. Oh, I should never have started this. Good news, it looks a lot better. Bad news, that means we have to do the entire cliff, because I can't just leave this one section perfectly terraformed. So, back to work, I guess. Now, the trees are also a very important part of my terraforming plan, because what I lack in terraforming skills I make up for with copious amounts of foliage. And I'm using a mixture of oak saplings and spruce saplings, because, well, that's just what I have. So, focusing on one small section at a time, I worked my way across the entire cliff face, turning this mammoth task into multiple smaller baby mammoth tasks. All the while completely neglecting my rickety enchanting tower that was staring at me from the distance, desperately waiting for its own makeover, while I was busy faffing around with dirt and planting trees. Then I went one step further, and I turned my flooded ravine into a giant 3-tiered waterfall. Now I know what you're thinking. Did she really do all of that in survival? Nope, because I rage quit halfway through. So I had to finish the rest of it with some help. But look where we started and how much of a difference this has made. Bang! And the dirt is gone. This cliff got sillet banged. That is such an old reference. Do people even know what sillet bang is anymore? Anyway, now we're here. I'm really happy with how this cliff looks now, but I think it's about time I got around to fixing this disgrace of an enchanting tower. Now, luckily, I already have a few of the materials required, so let's start with those. In this chest over here, I have some spruce logs to turn into spruce planks, and these are going to make up my staircase. Because like all good towers, this one goes upwards. And my ascension method of choice is this gently sloping spiral staircase. Now, the astute among you might have noticed that this actually only goes halfway up the tower, which does seem like a huge design flaw, but don't worry, I have a plan for that. We will address that later with magic. But we can't just have a giant staircase into the sky. We do actually need to build a tower structure. And what better foundation to build a giant tower from than stone, of which I have plenty. Not in there, in there. So I'm going to take a mixture of this cobblestone and stone, and then turn this plain stone into some stone bricks, and then we can start bulking up this tower. It's bulking season. Now, I kind of wish that this was mossy stone instead of plain stone, but I do not have the kind of time I need to mossify all of this. It doesn't really make sense for a brand new build to be covered in moss anyway. I just kind of wish that moss would appear naturally over time on surfaces where it might grow. Is that too much to ask? Now we have a nice strong foundation for my tower. We can start building up higher with the spruce planks. And I need to be careful not to leave these little tiny 1-block holes, because otherwise I will spend the rest of eternity haunted by the sound of baby zombies that have spawned inside my walls. And we finally made it to the top. Now this currently just looks like a very drafty pillager tower. And that does explain why I've had a few roaming pillagers turning up around here. But luckily they seem to have moved on, so it's safe to come down and marvel at my tower from ground level. Ah yes, we should probably fill in those holes. And for that, I would like to use some pale oak. So I'm gonna have to make a quick trip over to the Pale Garden to retrieve the logs. Now, unfortunately, as you can see, the sun is going down, but I'm not scared. I'm actually quite excited to see the Pale Garden at nighttime. I get to see these eye blossoms open up, and maybe a rare sighting of a creaking, all while collecting my masses of pale oak logs. Maybe I hold a torch, just in case, though. Getting a little scared of the dark now. Maybe I won't actually find a creaking, because I don't seem to see any creaking hearts in any of these What was that? Oh my gosh. There's one right there. It doesn't seem to have seen me yet, so maybe I'll just... What was that? Are the flowers making that noise? Oh my gosh, there's one right in front of me! I didn't even see it! Okay. Right before me, we have a rare creature. Oh gosh! Hey, that's not fair. You're not allowed to gang up. Oh my gosh. It's just tanking the skeleton's arrows. It's invincible. Creeper, creeper. Wait, this isn't fair. You're not allowed to gang up like this. Ah! Everything was under control until the creeper showed up. Ugh. Okay, where was I? Yes, this is the rare and elegant creaking. And this means that somewhere nearby, there's a creaking heart. Oh, it's in that tree over there. So if I could just capture this heart. Somewhere in this tree. There it is. Wait. No, that's resin. Where's the heart? There it is. Aha! Oh my gosh! He just disappeared. Well, that's quite sad. But look how cool these eye blossoms look when they're opening up. Very cool. Well, somehow I survived the night in the Pale Garden, but I don't think I've got enough of the wood yet. No. No, please. Oh, blooming heck. I've made a right mess of this biome. I have to come back and fix this one day in the future. But for now, I think we have plenty of this pale oak wood. So once I've replanted all of the saplings, I can be on my merry way. Now let's turn these logs into plankerinos. And then some of them I actually want to strip, which I probably should have done before I harvested them. Alas, I did not think of that. So now, here we are. We need to place them all back down, strip every single one, and mine them all back up again. And now I can finally start placing them to fill in these drafty holes. I've just realised that I could just place down a log and then strip it in place. Yes, that is much easier. And this is also way more satisfying. We finally made it to the top, where my enchanting table is. So I think now we need to build out this platform for it to sit on, because this cobblestone platform is rather pathetic, I must say. Now, I know this looks a bit of a mess, but I actually made it higgledy-piggledy on purpose, to give it a bit of character. So now all we need to do is figure out how to get from down there up to here. And I was thinking we could utilize a little bit of command block magic, especially for my magical enchanting tower. So let's start by getting rid of this cobblestone staircase. We're not going to need this anymore. Can't believe I ever used such a rudimentary method of ascending this tower. We're going to be using something much more whimsical from now on. So first we're going to decorate this place to look a little bit more, well, enchanting. And what is more enchanting than a library? But as you know, I do not have the kind of resources to be crafting hundreds of bookshelves right now. So, going to be a bit of an empty library full of chiseled bookshelves. And luckily, I have plenty of oak logs lying around. So we should be able to craft so many chiseled bookshelves. I don't know how many, but I want the most impressive library in the world right here. Which shouldn't be too hard because this world is currently quite empty. But let's see how far 34 chiseled bookshelves will get us. I want to cover up all of these walls Yeah, we're gonna need more bookshelves. 53. That's got to be enough. Just imagine how many books it's gonna take to fill all of these. There. It hasn't quite gone all the way up to the top, but if I ever fill all of these bookshelves, somebody needs to come and stop me. Now, for the center down here, I want to make a lectern. But to make a lectern, I'm going to need a bookshelf. And you all know how I have no books left. So, I'm going to have to borrow one of these. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've accidentally made too many anyway, and I don't know how that happened. I only need 15. So I have 3 spare. So, I'll take this one, please. And... oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Where was I? Turning this into a bookshelf to make myself a lectern, which I can place in the middle here. And we are actually going to need one more book to place into this lectern. And luckily, when I was making my bookshelves last time, I kept having one spare book. So if I could track that down, I could turn that into a book and quill, and we can place it inside the lectern. We just need some ink sacs for the ink. And, sorry, I need your feather for a quill. Now, where is that book? Is it in one of these chests? In a barrel somewhere? Where did I put the bloody thing? Oh, there it is! Yes! Okay, and turn that into a book and quill. Now, this is going to be the magical book that helps us ascend the tower. So what shall I write? Hang on a second. My golem. Golly? What's going on? Ah! Come on now, you need to get behind the wheel of the ship. Oh my gosh, how did you oxidize before my sails? What the heck? Who's gonna steer the ship now? You can't give up on your duty. Man, now my ship really isn't going anywhere. We're just gonna have to address that later because I've got a half-built tower to focus on. And I've got a book to write. I've got it, I freaking got it. When the stairs come to an abrupt end, but upwards still, you must ascend. Feast your eyes upon this book and let the tower take you up. Signed by me, titled The Ascension. Ta-da! Now, we need to make it so that when this book is placed inside the lectern, the player is poofed from hither to dither, aka from here to up there. And that's going to take some command block magic. So, excuse me for a moment while I go behind the curtain and make the magic happen. Okay, it's ready for testing. So we need this book up here, which is my special ascension book, with the magical words, which must be placed in this lectern for the effect to occur, and then you are teleported up here. I've just realised that we actually need a way down as well. For now, it's going to be the painful way. There. Now back down here, as you can see, the book has reappeared mysteriously in its bookshelf, and the lectern is empty, ready for the next time I want to come use it. Now, all this place needs is a little bit of decoration. So, I'm thinking candles and decorative pots. Yes, I know my tower doesn't have a roof right now, but it's very important that it's nicely decorated. Now, luckily I have some clay that I already collected. So, let's smelt these clay balls to make some clay pots, while I figure out how to make a load of pink candles. Let's see, if I want to harvest the honeycomb safely, I'm gonna need a load of campfires and my shears. Where are my shears? Criminy. I appear to have misplaced them. Well, okay, well, they might be gone forever, but I have some raw iron. I can make some new shears. Boink, boink. And now it's time to take on the bees. I'm sure there's a hive around here somewhere. Aha! There's a bee right there. That means there must be a hive. Now this must be full of honey. because I have been building this tower for a very long time, so they've had plenty of time to produce the delicious nectar for me to make candles from. Now, I'd like more than 3, so let's find some more hives. I'll take a little bit of this one. I'll take a little bit of this one. Oh no. This one's empty. Oh man. It's not empty, it's not empty! Let's collect some pink flowers along the way so I can turn these candles pink. Pink. And it's dark. This is good because we need string for my candles. So, keep an eye out for spiders. Oh, spiders! Hello? Why is this world suddenly so safe? What's going on? This isn't at all how it's meant to be. Oh, there's another beehive. Thank you. 12 candles now. Don't mind if I do. Now I just need to find 12 spiders. So the race is on before the sun comes up. Oh my gosh. I did not see that there. It just camouflaged in. There are 2 of them. Not what I'm looking for. Sorry. I haven't seen a single spider. But, ooh, another nest. For my last campfire. Ta-da! I see you, spider. Ah! Ow! Ow! It's a jumping spider! Ow! Goodness! Goodness gracious me. And not a single piece of string. Yes, yes! It's raining! Of course it's raining! Why would it not be raining? Bet there's lightning in a second now, too. No! No! Ah! Oh my gosh! Of course I'm gonna die. Why would I not? Oh yeah, there we go, of course. Classic. Classic. Bet it makes a supercharged creeper next. And no, I don't have my shield on me, okay? I left it at home. Whoa! Oh my goodness gracious! Oh gosh, it's everywhere! This feels unsafe. I probably shouldn't be on the top of a cliff right now. Whoa, what's this cat doing out in the middle of nowhere? What the heck? Be careful, kitty! There's lightning! Oh, there's a big cave. Yes. A respite from the rain. There are 2 spawners down here? That one's a spider spawner! Oh my... They're both spider spawners! This is insane. This is truly insane. What is going on? Am I just the luckiest person in the world? Oh my gosh, I can't bleeding believe it. Any string? Oh my gosh, and this is full of string! Okay, well, there's a little bit of string. What about this one? 2 spider spawners, huh? Full of string. Riptide got that! And... ooh, music discs and golden apples, all kinds of goodies. But I only care about the string right now, and I need 3 more. Thank you very much. Let me get out of here now. This cave has been fantastic. Wait, is that a skeleton? Ah! Help! Oh my gosh, help! Ah! It's all popping off today. It's all popping off. That truly is the Cave of Wonders. Now, let's make my freaking candles. Take my honeycomb and my string to make some handcrafted candles, and then pinkify them with this pink dye. And now all we have to do is make them float, which is not as magical of a process as you might think. It actually just involves a lot of dirt scaffolding. But look at what a difference just 15 pink candles can make. Now, I think by now, my clay balls should be finished smelting. Ta-da! And we can make a bunch of decorated pots. Pop these down. And I think we need a few more finishing touches in here. So with a bit of cherry wood, a few blocks of moss, and some pink petals, I made this cute rug. And now for some extra special finishing touches. A couple of stacks of books. Because I don't have any real books yet. Well, I do have one book. This one. Which we'll use right now so that we can ascend to the top of the tower. Which is definitely not finished. She's looking a little bald. But boy have I found the perfect roof. Check out this adorable flower gazebo by Shira Nom. They have this build and so many others available on their Patreon, so make sure to check it out. But for now, I'm going to be adding this adorable little flower hat to my tower. But of course, the moment I started building, it began to rain. And while it was kind of a vibe, it did ruin my lovely time-lapse. But at least we can appreciate this rare skeleton horse grazing nearby. And the sun came out just in time for me to finish my build. So now the exterior of my tower is complete and looking rather glorious, might I say. But my actual enchanting area is still an absolute disgrace. But it's nothing that a bit of rearranging and of course some floating pink candles can't fix. Wow, this looks so cool at night. Isn't this just the most enchanting place to do my enchanting? Currently, the only problem is that there's only one way down and it involves a bit of a leap of faith. So in the morning, I think we ought to magic up a way down from this tower. And for that I say it's time for me to write a new book. So I scrounged together the materials to make one more book and quill, and it was time to work on my next masterpiece. This is obviously going to be titled The Descent, and it goes a little something like this. Enchanting time comes to an end, and down the tower you must descend. This book will take you to the ground, landing softly, safe and sound. ... Publish that one. Now, time for some command block magic. Okay, it's ready for testing. And I went for something a little bit different this time, so here is my special descent book. And upon placing it inside this lectern, I will be granted the power of levitation and slow falling, so that I can leave the tower with grace and style and meet the ground nice and softly, and most importantly, alive. So I hope you liked my magical makeover. Please let me know in the comments what kind of books I should fill my library with, and I will see you next time.